Let me tell you something about life. The world we live in today is louder than it has ever been. Everything's flashing, everything's buzzing, everyone's talking, and the more you try to tune in to what matters, the more the world turns up the volume on what doesn't. You've got your phone, your notifications, your news feeds, your social media, your emails, your group chats, your advertisements, all fighting for one thing, your attention. But here's the truth they don't want you to realize. Your attention is your power. And if you keep giving it away without a fight, you're handing over your future. Focus isn't something you're born with. It's something you choose every single day. It's not passive. It's not automatic. It's a war, and it starts the moment you wake up. Before your feet hit the ground, you've already got 10 different voices calling your name. The key is learning to answer only one, the one that comes from within, the one that says, you've got a mission, you've got a dream, you've got something you were put here to do. That voice is soft, but it's sacred, and if you don't protect it, the world will drown it out. Focus is the foundation of excellence. You cannot build something meaningful while being mentally scattered. If your attention is divided, your results will be too. We live in a world where people wear busyness like a badge, but being busy doesn't mean you're making progress. Being busy means you're moving. Being focused means you're moving forward, and there's a difference. If you want to go somewhere with your life, really go somewhere, then you've got to stop running in circles with distractions. Everybody wants to be successful. That's the easy part, saying it, dreaming it, posting about it. But wanting something doesn't make it yours. You've got to earn it in the silence. You've got to earn it in the moments nobody sees. You've got to earn it through consistent, focused effort that looks like nothing to the outside world, but deep down you know. It's everything. It's the grind. It's the staying up late to finish what you started. It's the early mornings when no one else is up. It's the saying no to the party, the game, the easy route. That's the price. That's the investment. And focus is the currency. You see, people will always try to pull you off course. Not because they're evil, but because they don't understand where you're going. They don't see your vision. They don't hear the call on your life. But that's not their fault. That's not their responsibility. It's yours. It's your job to say, this is where I'm going. And no, I won't be distracted by every noise, every opportunity, every little thing that sparkles. Just because something looks good doesn't mean it's good for you. Focus means saying no to good things so you can say yes to great things. Discipline is what makes focus possible, not motivation. Motivation is a wave. It comes and it goes. But discipline is a foundation. It's the routine, it's the structure, it's doing it even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Focused people don't wait to feel inspired. They create the habit, they build the momentum. They show up anyway, and over time the results speak louder than the distractions ever did. Let me ask you something. How often do you reach for your phone just because you're bored? How many times do you open a tab and forget what you were looking for because something else popped up? You don't even notice it anymore because it's so normal. But let me remind you, normal doesn't lead to greatness. Normal leads to average. And if you want to live an extraordinary life, you've got to do what most people won't. You've got to pay attention to where your time goes. You've got to ask yourself, is this feeding me or draining me? You have to protect your peace, guard your time, and be selective with your energy. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every situation needs your response. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Focus means understanding the difference between urgency and importance. The world will always tell you everything is urgent. Everything needs your attention right now, but that's a trap. That's how you stay stuck. Real focus comes from stepping back and asking, what truly matters? What moves me closer to my purpose? And I'll tell you something else. Sometimes the loudest distractions are the ones inside your own mind. The doubts, the fears, the past failures, the what-ifs. You have to learn how to talk back to that voice. You have to learn how to say, not today, I've got work to do. You've got to replace fear with focus, replace comparison with concentration. You're not in competition with anybody. You're in alignment with your calling. Stay in your lane and run your race. That's where the power is. Silence is underrated. Solitude is underrated. Sometimes the most focused people are the ones who have learned how to be alone, not lonely, alone. Alone with their thoughts, alone with their plans, alone with their goals. That's where clarity comes from. That's where the blueprint is written. You can't hear your inner compass if you're constantly surrounded by noise. You've got to make space. You've got to unplug. You've got to retreat into stillness so you can return with strength. Structure your day like it's sacred, because it is. Build routines that protect your purpose. Wake up with intention. Start the day not by reacting, but by reflecting. What are your top 3 goals for today? What must get done no matter what? That's how focused people think. They prioritize, they plan, and they execute. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most consistently. That's the key, not speed, not perfection, but presence, full presence in whatever you're doing. And listen, your environment matters. Who you surround yourself with matters. If you're always around people who are distracted, guess what? You'll be distracted. If your space is cluttered, your mind will be cluttered. Clean it up, organize it. Create an atmosphere that inspires clarity, not chaos. That's not being extra. That's being intentional, because everything around you is either supporting your focus or stealing it. Choose wisely. You want to stay focused. Then remind yourself daily what's at stake. What happens if you don't follow through? What does your life look like 5 years from now if you keep getting sidetracked? That's a hard question, but it's one you need to answer, because focus isn't just about productivity. It's about purpose. It's about aligning your actions with your destiny. It's about becoming who you were meant to be. And that's not something you can afford to put off. The world doesn't care about your potential. It only responds to what you produce. You've got ideas, great. Everybody's got ideas, but ideas without focus are just fantasies. You've got to bring them down from the clouds and into the grind, into the discipline, into the work. That's where they become real. That's where they become impact. And yes, it's hard, but easy never changed the world. Easy never built a legacy. Easy never fulfilled a purpose. Focus did. Your future self is watching. And every choice you make today is shaping the life they're going to live. Are you setting them up for regret or reward? For freedom or frustration, focus is how you take responsibility for tomorrow. It's how you create a future you're proud of, one decision at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. That's how focus works. It compounds like interest in a bank. Small steps, repeated, relentlessly. Don't let your potential go to waste because you couldn't master your attention. Don't let distractions write your story. Be the author. Take the pen, decide where your energy goes, and when the world gets loud, and it will, learn to turn down the volume, not by force, but by choice. You've got something to do. You've got something to build. And you can't afford to lose another day to things that don't matter. Focus demands sacrifice. You've got to give up things that feel good in the moment to get what lasts for a lifetime. That's not easy. That's not comfortable, but that's the price of growth. That's the price of staying focused when everything around you is pulling you in another direction. Everybody wants to win, but not everybody wants to make the trade. Because the trade means less time scrolling, more time studying, less time hanging out, more time building, less time talking, more time doing. When the distractions are loud, you've got to respond with silence, with discipline, with purpose. You've got to choose to stay on your path, even when it's not exciting, even when no one else is clapping for you. And here's the truth. The reason so many people never reach their full potential isn't because they're not talented. It's not because they don't have dreams. It's because they never learned how to stay locked in, how to commit, how to say, this is what I'm working on, and I'm going to keep working on it until it's done, no matter how long it takes. Most people quit when it stops being fun. They stop when it gets hard. They give up when they get distracted. But if you want something that lasts, you've got to outlast the noise. You've got to outlast the boredom. You've got to keep going, even when the spotlight is off and all that's left is the grind. You've got to develop mental toughness. You've got to train your mind to obey your mission. Your feelings will try to hijack your focus. Your fears will whisper lies. Your excuses will show up wearing the mask of reason. But if you listen to them, you'll spend your life in circles. You'll always be starting over. You've got to recognize those voices for what they are: distractions, just noise. They don't deserve your attention. They don't deserve your energy, because your energy is sacred, and where your energy goes, your life goes. You can't do everything, that's a fact. You can't be everything to everyone. You can't say yes to every invitation, every idea, every project, every opportunity. Some things will have to wait, some things will have to go, and that's okay, because the more you try to do everything, the more you dilute your power. Focus means going deep, not wide. It means mastering one thing before moving on to the next. It means giving your full presence to what's in front of you, not splitting your attention between 5 different tabs, 5 different conversations, 5 different dreams. The world rewards mastery, and mastery is born from focus. The people who change the world aren't the ones who try to do it all. They're the ones who picked a path and stayed on it long enough to make something extraordinary happen. They didn't let every shiny new thing pull them off course. They didn't give in to the pressure to look busy. They stayed committed to the quiet, steady, relentless pursuit of excellence. And it's that kind of focus that separates those who dream from those who do. That's the difference, and that difference is everything. People will not always understand your focus. They'll ask you why you're so serious, why you're not showing up to the parties, why you're not replying to every message, joining every group, watching every trend. And you've got to be okay with that. You've got to be okay being different. You've got to be okay being misunderstood, because when you're focused, you will stand out. You will move different. You will talk different. You will spend your time different. And the truth is, not everyone is ready for that. But that's not your problem. Your job is not to be liked by everybody. Your job is to become everything you were created to be. Your job is to build something real with your life, something meaningful, and you can't do that while trying to please the crowd. Your time is limited. Your focus is finite. And you've got to decide, are you going to spend your energy building your future, or are you going to spend it reacting to everything around you, because you can't do both? Every time you pick up your phone for no reason, every time you get caught in drama that doesn't involve you, every time you say yes when you really mean no, you're leaking focus. You're wasting momentum. And the thing about focus is, once it's gone, it takes time to rebuild. That's why you've got to guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. Your success, your peace, your purpose, all of it depends on where your focus is going. The greatest battles you will fight are not external, they're internal. The war between discipline and distraction, between progress and procrastination, between clarity and confusion. That battle is fought every single day in the quiet moments. The decision to get up on time, to finish the task, to stay off the feed, to push through the boredom, that's where victory lies, that's where success is built, not in the big moments, but in the small, quiet, repeated choices that most people never see. Focus isn't flashy, it's not glamorous, it doesn't get applause, but it gets results, and in the end, that's what matters. You've got to learn to work without applause. You've got to learn to be your own motivation. Your own accountability, because the truth is, most of the time, no one is going to check on you. No one is going to remind you to stay focused. That's your job. You've got to lead yourself. You've got to hold yourself to a higher standard. And when you feel like slacking off, you've got to remember why you started. You've got to remember the vision, the goal, the reason, because if you don't remind yourself, the world will distract you. The world will pull you in every direction except the one you're supposed to go. Let your focus speak louder than your distractions. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Let your consistency silence the noise. That's how you win in a distracted world. You don't fight distraction with willpower alone. You fight it with systems, with structure, with habits that support your focus. You wake up with intention. You build your schedule around your priorities, not your impulses. You say no with clarity, and you say yes with conviction. That's what focus looks like. It's not rigid, it's strong. It's not controlling, it's free. Because when you control your focus, you control your life. And when things go wrong, when you mess up, when you fall short, and you will, you don't quit, you reset, you get back to the vision, you realign, you don't let one bad day turn into a bad week, you don't let one distraction turn into a lifestyle. You get back up, you refocus, because focus isn't about perfection, it's about direction, it's about knowing where you're going and having the courage to keep going no matter what gets in your way. You've got to keep your eyes on the prize. Not on the noise, not on the doubt, not on what everyone else is doing. Stay in your lane, stay in your grind, stay in your calling, because your path is not like anyone else's, and your focus shouldn't be either. Don't get caught trying to live someone else's dream. Don't get distracted trying to match someone else's pace. You've got your own rhythm, your own journey. Honor that, trust that, protect that. And if you do, if you stay focused on your path, you will get there. Maybe not overnight, maybe not without setbacks, but you will get there. You're not here to coast. You're not here to settle. You're here to rise. You're here to build. You're here to do something with your life. And the only way to do that in a world this noisy is to lock in, to choose your focus every single day, to wake up with vision and go to bed with progress, to live not by reaction, but by intention, to stop letting distractions decide your destiny. Because once you take control of your focus, you take control of your future, and nothing can take that from you. So now the question is, what are you going to do with what you've heard? Are you going to let it stir you for a moment and fade with the noise, or are you going to let it change you? You don't rise by accident. You rise on purpose, and purpose demands focus. It demands you to say no to the world so you can say yes to your destiny. The world will keep spinning with or without you. The distractions will always be there. But your time, your attention, your future, that's on you. Lock in. Eliminate the noise. And when life tries to pull you off course, you stand firm and say, not today, because you were not made to drift. You were made to drive, so focus, because your future is waiting and it's watching what you do next.